Continue that thought, please.
I think at the minute, if he doesn't know we're here, we don't need to do anything.
Check. But if he finds us or if he's getting close,
yeah,
rather than take him out, why don't we just give him a drive, silence him?
that might work. And ultimately, we could also just kill him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Once we've done what we're supposed to be doing, if we kill him, we can move on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is it worthwhile preempting the whole situation and just going and having a chat with him now and saying, look, here's some cash. Why don't you fuck off, mate?
The problem
I
is,
think so.
Sorry, you wouldn't say that. Why don't you just get gone?
If
At
we
the
do
end
that
of the
now,
day, sorry, go on, Pete.
yeah, if we do that now, he could take the cash and still chop us in.
So look, he's had a scout round today. He's not very good, and he's missed us. Yeah. So we don't need to do anything for the rest of the night. Okay. We sleep in the day. Tomorrow night, when he's doing his rounds, we check him again. If he's getting too close, we try to buy him off. If he's still shit, we leave him alone. Hopefully, a night or two here, we find the girl, do whatever, and get away anyway.
Be sad to leave this place.
Yeah, I'll be gutted, yeah.
But,
Right, who's going where?
Oh, all right.
What were the options? Who's planning on going?
The Dr. Nazcar and I, we're heading to the Frost Top. He's driving, apparently, because he's great at it.
And me and Lucy going to the drag.
Who's Lucy?
Jules.
Yeah.
Me and Jules are going to the drag.
Yeah, Peter. Like, you can come to us with the drag. There's cars and stuff there. She'll kind of look like trying to, kind of pleading, kind of like she probably
you can
will.
come along, Pete. You've got plenty of room.
I think we might need a little bit of a mediator here. He kind of takes my words a little too liberally.
They are being a bit snipey tonight, Peter. Or you can come in our car.
Yeah,
we can have
good.
a nice sing-song, aren't we, Jules?
Yeah, sure. You can come sing Blue Velvet with us. It'd be.
How convincing are you being, Jules?
She'll probably even mouth the words, please, you know?
Right. I'll do the drag then. If you two want to chat out your differences, trying to kill each other. Well,
Play nicely, boys.
Okay, I'll
sorry, Doc, you're in charge anyway, so
I'll fumble the keys.
You drive.
Okay.
As we're splitting up, should we not have some idea of how to get in touch with each other? Have a time limit? If we don't find her within an hour, get to another location.
We're going to meet up at this hotel in the middle.
After an hour sounds good.
So we do an hour, and then after an hour, we both come back. We should get to the hotel about the same sort of time.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I need to make a phone call en route as well.
Oh, okay. Mr. Demandy.
Well, when we get there, I can find a phone and do it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. We can stop for you, Pete. It's no good. No problem.
Do it.
I'm guessing Jules is sitting in the middle, and then whoever's driving is on. So, yeah.
Frank's going to assume he's driving. Unless anyone challenges him, he's planning on he'll be moving over to the driver's seat.
Yeah.
So do we have Frank in the red truck and Hank in the blue and white truck?
Dr. Issacs in the blue and white truck. And Frank. And Hank.
Okay, so breakdown of who's in which truck, please.
Me and Hank are in the blue truck.
blue shirts are in the blue truck.
Okay.
Everyone else is in the cool truck.
This is
Singing.
it's going to be a snippy and exciting evening.
And completely out of character. Do we know about monomancy yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Have we
Not
actually
yet.
got a pack leader yet?
No.
I don't even think we're officially a pack yet.
You're not officially a pack yet. You were instructed that you would take the proper right on your successful return. And that this was a learning experience to show and encase how you operate as a group, who seems to come to the forefront so you can determine a leader, who you turn to for advice, and you are very much encouraged to figure out nicknames for one another.
I'm already on that.
Oh, we've got Dr.
Just right
NASCAR.
moving Dr. NASCAR.
I already got one for Frank too.
If it's not Daddy, I'm going to be really unimpressed.
No, Sinatra.
Well, that could work.
That one. All right.
Basically, for Jules' nickname is Lucy. So
He has college a lot.
Nobody knows why.
Yeah.
That does work. Amusingly enough. The engines turn over. You shift about on the wet asphalt and turn to face LaPlace proper. Making your way into town, you divert your attentions. The group stopping at the frost stop, you turn and you park close to where you had parked originally. Those of you continuing on proceed to the four-way stop just in front of the frost top and take a left headed north. Almost towards the direction that you think maybe Smokey had brought you from. You're not certain. It's been a few nights. You need to reorient yourself a bit. Give me wits awareness for everyone as you drive, please. And this is for as you go through town.
Sorry, is this red car or everybody?
This is everybody. It's both vehicles. This is just what the drivers and passengers notice or may not notice as you move through town.
Wits awareness.
Everything.
Wits awareness, yes.
I see everything.
Active
You
perception
are
check.
so paranoid.
oh my
20,
god.
let's go.
I actually got 3 successes on that one. I see things. Jules is aware.
Is this like an instinctual thing?
No, this is active.
I'm
I
going
can
to spend a
see
will
Phil
point.
I can see, Phil, that you and I are the big, heavy, not terribly observant ones of the party, and everyone else sees literally everything going on around them.
Yeah, not seeing shit until it's right in front of our faces.
and
they
then we
go,
kill
ah, that's what I was telling you about for 40 minutes. And you go, oh yeah, boom. Yeah, it's not there anymore.
It's like, what if there were an obstacle in the road? Da-dum. Okay. You wanted to spend a willpower?
Sorry, I thought that was a messy failure. I didn't.
No, it's a mostly critical.
Yeah,
so it's a success. All right. Peter, Jules, and Dr. Issacs, the three of you, as you make your way through town, and Dr. Issacs, as you become more aware of what I am about to share with you, you start to feel a little entrapped, almost like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up to a degree. You're used to a certain level of freedom in how you lived up to this point, so you're very aware about the ebb and flow of people in an area. And the three of you notice that your first night in town proper, moving through it, making your stop at the frost stop, finding your way through the winding roads out to the Smith property, You maybe cross the path of a single police department vehicle. You imagine that a small town like this is probably not very heavily manned in the first place. However, they were clearly pulled over, enjoying a cup of coffee, and not out patrolling. But as you make your way into Laplace, through some of the neighborhoods, down the main strip, to the Frost Top, you notice at that point that you've already passed two police vehicles that are slowly making their way through town. It looks like they have set paths that they're moving on, areas designated to themselves. And they don't come up behind you, but you can notice them like a street over when you're at an intersection and one of them goes past further down, or they go in front of you and continue on their way. The group moving towards the drag strip, you notice that there are a few more cars, and you're not certain if it's the same ones you noticed before, or if now your total is up to 3 to 4 of them. But it has doubled, if not quadrupled in number since the night before in presence. So we're gonna both of you, both vehicles make it to the Frost Top. Do you try to communicate to one another at that point, or do you divide? And this is not a leading question, it's just so I know.
Yeah.
My understanding is that we're supposed to be splitting up, so Frank, unless he's been indicated otherwise, will continue to split up.
Yeah. Stand by, Frank. Pull over to him quick.
We'll yeah. Follow suit.
What's up?
Looks like local PD are heightened somewhat. Be a bit careful and subtle if you can. Bear in mind,
My middle
we've been
name.
missing.
Actually, my middle name's Edward, but
Bearing in mind we've been missing and potentially being looked for.
who is?
Wow. We've just randomly disappeared, haven't we?
Are you guys all from here? I'm not from here.
Okay, you're cool. I am.
And I definitely am being looked at for.
Oh, I didn't realise that. I thought we were all out of towners.
No, I'm
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, you got a family here, haven't you?
yeah, and a husband. Or had a husband.
Just be careful, guys. Try and stick to the back roads. Because we don't really want the local PD on us too much.
Are we pulled in behind them, or are we like side by side?
Where you're currently pulled up is probably side by side in a parking lot a bit further down from the Frost Top. Because when you parked originally near the Frost Top, you were 3 to 4 areas down. So like 3 to 4 buildings down the main drag or main strip in town. So you still have some space between you and there. And you would be side by side because this is storefront type parking.
Are they on my right or left? Just for
We'll
Right.
say, yep, we'll say on the right.
Hank, please roll down your window. Please roll down your window.
I'm to roll down his window.
Wave at them.
Hello.
We're getting rid of this truck.
Why?
It's just dinged, man. It's not going to take much to put it right. I'm telling you, it'd be fine.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
You've
about
seen all the cars, all the cops, all the police. This is a truck that belonged to that house. That is a truck that belonged to that house.
Right. Do you know what happened to that house?
It blew up.
Yeah.
the people that own that house are not going to be driving their vehicles.
Yeah, but they're not going to be. People aren't going to turn up to the place and go, "Oh, that's a suspicious thing, a gas explosion. Or maybe that must be murder." They're going to be sat there thinking it was a gas explosion and not really think anything more of it.
Yeah, but the doc's right. If they all perish in the gas explosion, who's got their trucks and why are they driving around in them?
Who cares?
They might.
Local police do.
They
Well
won't because
done.
they're dead.
Yeah, the police might.
Police aren't going to care. They're not going to be. They're not going to spend any time thinking about it because it's going to be a simple accident that happened.
Peter,
They're not going to
isn't it-
think, "Oh, the house exploded," but we're going to pay attention to the fact that 2 cars that were here are missing because they're not going to know that they're missing.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith have perished in a tragic accident.
Yep.
Why are people driving around in their trucks?
How will they know that the people are driving around in their trucks?
Because they know the
This is
trucks.
a
They know what the
small
trucks
town.
like it's a small town.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh look, that's the red truck of Mr. Smith, who's dead. Why is it driving around the town?
Oh, I see. Mean small town. Everyone knows each other. Everyone knows each other's vehicles. All right. No, that's fair. That is a fair point. That is a fair point.
Being from Mississippi yourself, that definitely makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense because when you think about it, you would probably recognize the vehicles of most people where you're from.
No, I wouldn't. But other people would. Other people would recognize. I understand. Frank
That's-
wouldn't because he doesn't give a shit about anybody that lived anywhere near him. But
Got it.
he completely understands that all of his neighbours are busybodies and know everyone else's business. So no, that does make sense. Yeah, no, fair play. I didn't think about that. You're 100% right. All right, we need to ditch these cars.
Now, an old work truck like that, maybe a little bit of chance, but a nice new blue truck like this, very
Yeah.
eye-catching.
Better safe than sorry. Let's ditch them both.
Good
We,
idea.
we park
gas-
it outside the first stop, or we just
Gas
leave it.
station.
or
No, that's going to be really suspicious because then the house exploded and then the cars were driven here, and then anyone sees us get out of the cars,
could
we need to take it out into the sticks and torch them.
I have an idea? If you want to hear it,
What's that, Lucy? Jules.
we paint the trucks a different color.
We could do that, and then they won't be so obvious.
And ding them up a little bit.
We do have a head start on that.
That's true.
So see, it's a good thing that the truck was dinged a little bit.
James, you're a cop, right?
Pete, yeah.
Pete, sorry. You're a cop, right?
Yeah.
Would that work if we just painted them?
No.
Plates.
Plates.
Right. All right. Well, let's just take them out the sticks and torch them then.
Couldn't we just swap plates with other plates?
Oh,
But
that's
then
a
those
good
plates get reported.
Sure.
Those plates get reported as stolen. And then cops are looking for those plates. Best thing to do is not drive around in stolen cars.
We could try and find like a taxi. We could I could attempt to control them like I controlled the old man.
Can't we just not worry about it for a couple of days? Get this woman, and then we don't have to worry about the cars ever again.
I was going to say, if we're quick, if we park them up tonight, use them tonight. If we don't get the woman tonight, we'll take them back to where we abandoned them.
Yeah.
Coming up to dawn yesterday, and this time we won't go and pick them back up again. We'll just leave them there.
Peter, long term, you think that if they painted them, they swapped the plates, they did some superficial damage to it once the paint dried, it'd buy you time. But the make and the model would still draw attention, but you would need to swap plates and do all the other steps.
It's a lot of effort for not a lot of return.
All right, Toasty. I have upon my character sheet 3 dots in criminal contacts, which I have not specified. I ain't from around these parts, but is it reasonable to assume that having access to 3 dots in criminal contacts Frank might be able to figure out a way to be able to find someone who runs a chop shop or something like that can help us out with this.
Yes. Reasonably, you would believe that could be something that you could do, especially with your knowledge of context and how that part of the world works. There being a racing strip in town, you imagine that people probably do unsanctioned races on there after hours all the time. And you know for a fact that while you were at the diner, it was mentioned it's open late. Like, if that's work hours, you're not certain, but entertainment hours, it's open late.
So
So
would I? Sorry.
even if you weren't certain that they would chop shop these, you are certain you could probably race for slips or figure out somebody there that could help you with your situation.
And would I have any idea about the kind of going rate for doing this? What sort of price it's likely to cost?
It's not going to be cheap. They're probably, if you want it done, especially because it's local, particularly because it's local and the news of what has happened to those individuals, it's going to be a high rate, minimum one of the vehicles.
Why are we bothering? Honestly, I kind of want to find this woman, grab her, do whatever, and get out tonight. I don't really want to be here forever. Yeah.
All right.
If we have to drive the trucks off worst case scenario, one of us gets pulled over, we do the two cops over, and then we leave the truck. Because now it really is a wanted vehicle. But I don't plan to spend my life here, so let's just be quick.
Right, and then once we're in New Orleans or somewhere place like that, then it doesn't matter. But the only thing we have to do is just drive normally, and we don't have to the boring people like being in everyone's business.
All right. Fair enough. All excellent points. I'll knock on the head. Let's just crack on with this. Find this girl. Do the do. Get back to the gardener. Problem solved.
And also, if we run into the cops, we can always get more guns.
Okay.
Speaking of, what did you do with your shotgun?
That's in the truck.
We got a shotgun.
Yeah. Peter
Okay.
took it from me.
And some shells. Well, Isaac had the shells.
I would give it to Peter.
I'm not sure I feel about that.
All right. Do you decide ultimately to divide and conquer or continue on your path?
Carry on with the original
Right.
plan.
Stick with the original plan. Split up between two vehicles. The cool car will do the drag, and Team Blue will do whatever it is that the Team Blue.
The frost stop.
We'll meet up at the hotel in an hour.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. Wind up the window. Gun the engine. Drive out at 5 miles an hour under the speed limit, as I always do.
Jules will turn on the radio and turn it up a little bit for driving music.
And we'll hit the UE and head back to the frost stop.
Okay. Sounds good. As the stop is closest, we will focus there first. Jules, it's a very soulful night on the radio as you listen. Makes you a little bit almost homesick. The thought of Cafe Du Monde on one of your early dates with your husband fills your mind. As we transition over to the frost stop, and it's very happy, poppy boppish songs playing in the background. Where do
How
you
many
decide to park?
entrances?
All
Sorry.
sides of the building are open. It's as if this, for your terms, it's as if this diner was situated in the center of a car park. So you have at least 4 parking zones on each side of the building, and then a decent amount of space on all 4 sides that could fit up to 2 additional rows of vehicles with space between them.
Away from the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
And
we
then
park.
okay. So
And
do
how
you
many
park?
entrances? Sorry, Kirsty, go on.
No, you're good. The entrances are on the right and bottom. So if you're like looking at an aerial view, the entrances are on the right and the bottom, and they are almost exactly flush with the road, so people can turn off at any point, really. There is a sidewalk, but the bump is negligible for most vehicles.
So
So
yeah, the
go ahead.
dock's right. If we park as far away as we can to avoid being too close, and then we'll have a wander up. Entrances in and out of the frost stop. Do you know how many there
Um,
are?
one. One main entrance
Mhm.
facing south.
Okay.
So
Fire exits?
facing the bottom.
Or fire
Um,
exits or kitchen exits or
There is a sliding window for orders on the right-hand side. There is a back entrance exit for the kitchen area that is not open to public. So the kitchen wraps around into the actual diner. Half of it is shut off by a wall, and you have an additional exit on that far wall. So technically it would be north and south exit. South exit for patrons. Both exit in case of fire. The bathroom is on the west side. The sliding glass serving window is on the right hand side, and it is an L shape kitchen in the back, and then a matching shape of a dining area in the front.
what's the plan, Doc?
are we still relatively clean?
Mhm.
Okay.
Most of you only had mud on your shoes or your pants, legs at the bottom.
When we were here last night, we kind of just went in and they kind of went in and just kind of did their own things. I think, we're here to help each other, but we're not here together, so we can pursue different angles.
So why don't we know what she looks like? You go in, I'll follow in shortly after. I'll hang around by the exit. You do a sweep of the place, see if you can see her, yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's what we'll do.
That's what we'll do.
Where you have parked to be inconspicuous is not in any of the area around the frost top, although there is plenty of space. It is actually on the building front facing along the street a bit further down. That way you can walk from there, but it's not in direct view of the frost top or any of the windows from it.
Okay, that's good.
Because last time you parked nearby in that same vehicle. Just a reminder. Alright, you make your way over. Roll wits awareness for me, both of you. DC is 1. Because I imagine you're looking directly in the windows as you come up. You're kind of scanning the area as you make your way. Not particularly close to one another, but still You're both in the parking lot at the same time. Dr. Isaacs makes it to the door first type of situation. Moving into view of the frost top. Dr. Isaacs, you notice it first. Excuse me, Hank, you notice it shortly thereafter as you turn the corner. And you see a young woman. And from this distance, she seems to fit the description of Anne. As she's been going by here. Short, dark hair. Youthful, rounded features. Large eyes. You can't quite make out the color from the distance you're at. She seems a little bit on the lighter side. Not quite pale, but close. And she, sitting down, looks about maybe average height. You would place her late teens, early 20s.
So, quick question. If I go back in the truck and drove at a speed not to attract attention, how quickly could I get to the direction?
It would, from this point, because you haven't made that run before, but Jules was able to tell you roughly where everything is in town. And there's only like 3 or 4 main streets at this point. If you take one of them, you'll probably find these main points. You would say 10 minutes going as fast as you could, thinking you wouldn't draw attention. And that's round trip if you found them immediately.
Okay. So, Doc, one of us stays and keeps an eye on her. One of us goes back and gets the rest. Your call.
Do you catch each other outside of the diner, or are you speaking inside?
I'll try to catch him outside before he goes in.
Okay.
What is your preference?
I think you're a lot less conspicuous than I am, and a lot less likely to be noticed. Yeah? If she tries to run, have you got any way of stopping her?
I'm pretty fast.
Okay.
Just fuse the legs together.
Can't do that quite yet.
Okay. So you confident that you can keep her here, or at least keep tabs on her, yeah?
Yeah. Just hurry.
Okay. Toasty, is there a car next to us?
Okay. There
Next to
are
a
a few
truck.
cars in the parking lot. Not next to your truck, no.
Mhm.
Where you chose to park was specifically, I was reading without people around.
So if I say to the doc, if she leaves this area, yeah, and you have to leave to follow her, you see the red car there?
Yeah.
Smash the windscreen. Yeah. On
Okay.
your way past, smash the windscreen of that red car. And that way, if we get back, can't find you and there's a smashed windscreen, we know we're in fact smash the car, smash one of the windows in the direction you're going. So
Hold on, I want
windscreen.
to clarify because I understand what you're saying, but I think the positionals are off. All of the vehicles
Mhm.
nearby are around the frost top, like they're in the open parking lot area. And a number
Right.
of them have people in them dining because it's like a roller rink diner where they bring the
Right.
trays out to
Okay.
you.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But you did park in front of like storefronts, like glass storefronts and buildings like that.
That's the way to do it.
So
Yeah.
that's I just wanted to clarify because I know what you're thinking, but I think it was mixed in translation. So open parking area,
Mhm.
and then there's a like a line of buildings, like just brick buildings, all single story down the road to it. And you've parked further down in front of one of those buildings. in the street parking area.
So smash a window. Yeah. If you've had to leave the area, smash a front top window. In front of that front top window, just point. Have a pointer to roughly which direction you're going in. Yeah. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
You're a smart man, dog. Right. Give me the keys.
I'll toss you the keys.
And then the doctor was never heard from again. I'm sorry, I meant Hank certainly returned with the aid of the others.
How far away am I from the car?
Hold on, let me change it from freedom units.
Freedom units.
Around like 91 meters.
Okay. Frank is going to jog.
We'll
40
put
more
it at like
meters.
100.
Okay. Frank's going to jog 50 meters and then blink the other 50 just to
Okay,
get
because
ahead.
you would be around the corner at that point of those
Yeah.
buildings. You would have the protection from view for that.
Okay. So I need to reverse check. Don't get hungry. So I'll jog the 50 and then blink the 50. Jump in the car and head off after the guys.
Sounds good. Turn over the truck without an issue, and you make your way. Inconspicuously, further down the road, you cut through some of the back roads to make it to the one that they took towards the drag strip. Team drag strip. You make your way down the main road that you're on, headed northward. On the left-hand side of your vehicle, you notice passing by the hotel, which is a hotel restaurant. The front-facing portion being a restaurant, and you can see inside that there are people sitting off to the right hand in a couple of rows on high stools playing slot machines. And it looks like the left-hand side of the area has been a diner converted into pseudo. Oh, Jules, you would be really remiss to call it high-class dining. It looks like the area, like the counter itself where things are being served, had been a diner counter at one point, and now it is simply a counter with a cash register on it, and plates are being lined up there, and a waiter is bussing tables instead of booths.
Oh, I wonder if they have a Cobb salad. Guess that's like, all the rage.
They most certainly do. Anywhere worth its salt would right now. Especially if it was pretending to be hip. You continue on, and you hear the drag strip before you see it. There is a bit of light in the sky in the distance, hanging low underneath the clouds. And as you turn the corner, your eyes meet with the area that is creating the sound. And what you see before you is a long strip of land which has been converted into two paved raceways, side by side, simultaneous. The front-facing building looks to have a lounge as well as a ticket taking or you imagine betting area in the back. Towards the back, there is a set of tiered stands outside, uncovered, on either side of the strips, and it is relatively full. The parking lot has no space in it at this point, and you can barely hear your radio over the sound of engines revving as you get closer. Some of them being people showing off their vehicles in the parking lot to one another. Very clearly not meant for racing, just showboating, especially like coupes and other ones, because if they try to take off in that, it might go fast, but it wouldn't go fast enough. These aren't built for racing. The ones you see out on the strip, however, have definitely been modified. and you can kind of get a glance between all of the vehicles. And there's no buildings around it. It is the strip, the stadium style seating, and the building, and then the open parking lot in the front. It's like this area has its own few blocks to itself.
Jules, seeing all this will whistle. I can see why she likes this. There's a lot of people. And a lot of money.
Where's the highest sort of density of people?
The highest density of people, if you had to educated guess at a glance, not the parking lot. The parking lot is teeming with vehicles, but not people. There's like a select area in the parking lot that's really busy right now, and those are the people showing off to one another and probably setting up races later with each other. Inside looks busy, but it isn't sized large enough to hold the amount of people that the stands are, and the stands have the most people right now. It's not a full house, but it's close to it.
It's going to be really difficult to be able to check all the stands for the mark, really.
Jules, you know a little bit about the drag strip, and you know that to get into the stands, you have to pay a cover fee.
Right. She'll
It's
convey
how
that.
they upkeep the building, and they pay their workers, and they work on the vehicles. But you'd have to pay a cover fee per head, and every time you went in. So if she's visiting frequently, she's either found a cash source here, or she's finding another way in.
Jules will convey that.
Because it would add up. It's not cheap presently. It's about $5 a person, which is expensive.
Yeah, especially in the early 60s. Or yeah. She'll explain that to both of them.
I haven't got $5.
I do.
I mean, do you want me to wait outside then?
Are we all going in?
Yeah, we should all go in.
Or perhaps if we speak to the person on the counter and ask them very politely.
Yeah, I'll say
Maybe they might
please.
be able to give us some information. I hand Jules $30, just in case.
She'll smile, take it, and put it in her back pocket.
People
Thanks.
just throwing money out here in the 60s. Like, what?
$30? Jules is rich.
So we're sat in the car park, right? Looking at the place, having a conversation.
You would have to find a space to park, but you have noticed that people which don't have anywhere inside the car park proper to park are parking on the grass.
Okay.
In relatively neat rows. Like, they're following suit of how the parking system works. They're just spilling out into the grass around the area.
No, that seems reasonable. As the
You
car
don't have to
comes
pay
to
for parking.
stop, and as this conversation is going on, Toasty, can I be really annoying?
Mm-hmm. I've never stopped you before. I'm sorry, I mean, you've never stopped me before.
I would like to... Frank is thinking really hard about, like, how they're going to identify if this woman is in the stance, because Pete's quite correct in the fact that it's going to take quite some time and it's going to be difficult for us to be able to identify if she's here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking quite hard about, like, how you could get around that whole situation. Can I force a premonition check
You
to give
certainly may.
some kind of indication as to like whether she's here or not, or whatever the premonition gives us.
Okay, so I need to narrow that down a little bit more. Are you specifically trying to discern where she is?
No.
Okay, so
That's Frank's thought process is she here at the drag strip now? Like, and he's trying to identify like how they would go about trying to find her in this place and concentrating really hard on it. And I feel like he would like he doesn't necessarily realize what he's doing, but I feel like he would kind of push a premonition in that situation. Now, up to you how that pans out. Like, it could be some hint as to. Well, I suppose it depends on how many successes I get, or if I get any successes at all.
I'm reading over it really quick because I want.
Yeah.
Yes, you may absolutely attempt to force a premonition.
Right. Let's do that then. So to force premonition, I need to do a resolve plus all specs roll. I need to do a rouse check. So let's do that. First and foremost, let's do a rouse check.
Slightly hungry.
I am no longer cheerful.
And there is a good reason for that. But continue on your roll.
Okay, so I need to do a what was it? Resolve plus all specs, wasn't it?
Yes.
Did you just do yay then?
What?
No. I said yes.
Me? No,
Yeah.
not at all. No.
Oh.
Why is
a
it not
lovely
rolling?
petty night. You want me to try and assist?
Why is it not rolling?
I'm not certain. So it's all specs resolve, correct?
Oh, here we go. I see. Resolve plus all specs. That'd be 3.
Successes. Okay, not bad. As Peter and Jules discuss how to gain entrance and survey the area, Frank, you kind of sink into your thoughts a bit. You've parked, you hear them murmuring in the background as their voices slowly fade from your primary senses. They blend in with the roll of the vehicles across the racing area in the distance, the cheers, and it becomes almost like a distant roll of thunder. And as everything slowly leeches away from you, all that's left in front is the open field, the lights from the stands, and the raceway dully illuminating the grass in front of you. You see a young woman. Flickers in and out of view for a moment. It's almost as though it's catching your attention, and you have this feeling that you're not in the right place. There's just something in your gut. There's something in your gut telling you at this point, this is not right. This isn't the right spot. And as you watch this shifting image, it almost solidifies. There's still a bit of an ethereal air about it where it seems almost disjointed from its steps. It'll take a step and part of it will move, and then another part of it will catch up. And as you watch, it almost turns into a mirage, walking across the grass in one of the well worn paths out here towards the parking lot and down the sidewalk. It's walking away from here.
Does it look like something that I could follow, or is this just basically kind of suggesting that we're in the wrong place?
You have the sensation it is suggesting you're in the wrong place, but
Okay.
as you watch it, it does not fully disappear. If you
I'm
could follow it, you're not certain, but it does
I'm
not currently disappear.
if I'm physically capable of moving, I will, whatever the other two are doing, I will just walk away from them and follow the apparition.
One, do you leave the keys in the ignition?
Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to stop and get out and just, like, everything else is irrelevant. I'm just following the apparition.
Okay, so you had parked the truck. It's not currently idling. I would say that you have likely already pulled the keys from the ignition, and your attention is following this, and you're almost glassy-eyed to anyone looking at you, and your head is just turning, and nothing is in front of you, and as your gaze continues to follow it, you open the door, get out, and start walking.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck's he going?
I have no idea. Should we follow him?
He looks even less normal than normal. Is it? Oh, is, yeah.
I don't know. Let's grab the key. Jules will like grab the keys and you know get out to follow.
Have I not got the keys?
You do. Frank does. They're
Oh.
loose, so he has the keys, but they're very loosely held in his fingers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could take them from him relatively easily.
Oh yeah, without any issue. His
I-
hand is not closed around them.
Well, Jill will catch up to like take the keys from. I guess. I imagine he's not moving very quickly.
No, but if you get in his way, he's not paying any attention to you, so he'll just walk straight, like, he'll barge you out of the way, like you're not there.
Okay. She'll definitely do that and be like, hey big guy. And kind of like she'll be like walking, but like putting her hand in front of your face to see if you like, acknowledge.
Frank, you see the hand moving in front of you, but your attention, like every time Jules waves the hand in front of her face, it's more like you lean forward to see between her fingers, and you can still see the image or the outline of the young woman walking down the street in front of you. And she makes it to the stop sign at the four-way where you turned in here and seems to be heading back in the direction you came from.
Okay, I will continue following for as long as the apparition is there.
She dissipates once she makes it past the stop sign on the far side.
But going in a particular direction, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's an important thing. So when she dissipates, do I like snap back to reality in one go?
Immediately. Everything floods back into you. It's not jarring, oddly enough. It's like your senses are immediately aware of everything else they had tuned out just prior. But it's as though they'd also been aware of it. So it's not like a system shock.
Okay. Frank will he'll look around for the other two.
Jules is still probably walking beside you. Hey.
We're in the wrong place.
Wait, what?
What?
We're in the wrong place.
How'd you know? How'd you know?
He'll just look thoughtful for a second. I just
An
know.
impression that I've never seen before.
No, he looks thoughtful. He's not stupid.
There's the sound of a familiar engine coming up the road towards you, and you hear it before you see it, much to the similar situation of the stadium behind you. However, it is far closer to you by the time you pick it up, and you see it come out from one of the side streets and not off the main. And it is a blue and white truck headed your direction. One you're particularly familiar with. Hank, you see the three of them bunched up together, talking a little with concerned expressions and confusion.
Cool. I will pull up as close to them as I can and say, she's at the first stop, get in.
I just told you. Did I not just tell you? I knew she's not here.
Okay.
Jules, jump in with Hank.
Okay.
I'll
And
go with Frank.
she'll toss the keys to y'all.
Both catch them separately.
No, you catch them together and then have to figure out who's actually going to keep them.
And you
You
bump
don't
your
shoot
head.
Together and then look at each other and lock eyes. And then the romantic music comes up.
Some smooth jazz.
Yeah.
A flashback
got
to
you.
earlier that evening.
Nothing
Right.
about that is cool.
You drive if you want to drive, I don't care.
No, you crack on, mate.
Okay.
Jules will get into the car. And, like, he was just telling us that she wasn't here.
Have you been inside and had a look?
No, we didn't. He got kind of weird, and then he got out of the truck and started walking, rather like a drunk person.
Yeah, well, getting weird is kind of his thing at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
We'll keep an eye on him.
Gotcha. Also, he keeps calling me Lucy.
Yeah, I noticed that. As I say, we'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
If necessary, we'll hit him with a shovel for a second time this time. Make sure he stays buried.
True. Also, don't let me be alone with him. Like, let's do a buddy system. Like, just in case, like, I don't know who the fuck Lucy is. So until
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
Gotcha. As they are driving, I guess.
Yes. Oh, I imagine that the moment you got in, he did an about face in the road, up on the curb, and just continued back.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wander back. Well, we'll imagine Frank will probably move relatively quickly back to the car.
It doesn't take you long. By the time you're at your truck, getting into it, getting the engine turned over, they're down the main road, but you can still see their taillights.
She turning on first time now.
Yes.
I figured her out.
Sorry, yes.
Nice. We ain't getting rid of this truck.
You not have a choice.
Reliable.
We ain't getting rid of this truck. I will smash any cop who comes near us. Don't you worry about that, son.
Not modern terms. Brutality terms.
Yeah, he doesn't understand. He doesn't
Either.
understand what that means in modern terms.
Neither.
Did you say me either or either?
Either.
Oh, God. Moving along.
Moving
Quickly make your way out of the parking lot. Thankfully, where you are is not a particularly busy area, and because of the make and model of your truck, you can go over the curb without issue. You get a little bit of attention depending on how quickly you leave, but no one is giving you lingering looks. It's like, oh, well, they just parked and suddenly turned around. That was a little weird, but
5 miles
whatever.
an hour under the limit at all times.
Okay. You will be a few minutes behind the other two then. But only a few minutes.
So Hank's pushing as hard as he can without drawing attention. So if that's 5 or so over the speed limit, then so be it.
All right.
10%, isn't it, Rich? 10% plus
So
something.
plus 2.
It is here.
It is here.
Depends on how petty the police officer feels that evening. To be honest, around here. Sometimes you can do 5, sometimes you can do 10, sometimes you do 1, and you're done.
Sometimes you're doing the speed limit and they pull you over because that's considered a drug operation. Anyway.
Or 1 mile under the speed limit, and then like you look suspicious too.
Yeah.
Routine traffic stop.
We will.
And you say, "I'm terribly sorry, officer."
Yeah. It works. It works very, very well. I was on honeymoon in Florida. Got stopped by police officers. I'm terribly sorry, officer. Was I speeding? Yeah. Slow down. Thank you ever so much. You have a lovely day now.
Here's my British driving license. Not worth any of your time to try and investigate.
But anyway,
Right.
we digress.
And V will pause there.